Alright, so we're here with Matt, the main camera operator and lead investigator of Ghost Hunting on YouTube. This is the pre-season 2 interview. So how's things been since he's have wrapped on season 1?
Well, after season 1, for a while, it was very, at the very end of season 1, it was very active, so we say. There's an echo to the sound, it's really annoying because of this big thing. But anyway, after a while it died down, but the last few weeks I've started to really pick back up again actually. My story kind of mixes in with David's, and the reason for that is I was lying there one night and he says he heard scratching. I couldn't hear anything, and then he asked me did I hear anything, and I said no because I couldn't. And then literally a few seconds later I heard massive banging, like footsteps coming from the kitchen. It actually did sound like, you know, people were walking about in the kitchen. And also last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, it was very recent, I was sitting in the computer and I heard this noise, but I had the Turbo Beach headset on, so I took it off, and I heard somebody getting out of my bed, walking around my room, and then coming to the top of the stairs, and then the noise just stopped. So I kind of freaked out a wee bit about that, and then I heard it again today. So that's fun.
So you're in the house basically 24/7. You do go out and you leave Alana home, you go meet Alana, but throughout most of the day then everybody's gone, it's just you and obviously the dogs. The dog's normally with you or on the stairs. And since you're the one who spent most time with him, have you noticed any change in the dog since the wrap of season 1?
He's a lot more on edge and he's not as comfortable in this house anymore. The one thing that I've really noticed about him, and I really overly noticed it whenever you were all away on holiday, was you can't leave him in the house on his own anymore. He doesn't like it, he gets very scared very easily. It used to be that if you left him in the house he'd go in and sit in the living room and just lie on the sofa and lie there for literally the whole day. Not anymore, he's up, he's fidgeting, he's looking about, he's scared, he's hearing things. And then whenever you come in the door, he acts like he hasn't seen you in about a fucking year. So he isn't as comfortable in the house anymore. And it seems to be that there is something in the house that is either not agreeing with him or annoying him on purpose. Because even earlier on I was sitting here and I heard this noise. And you know if the dog is sitting here and he's lying there like that there and he hears a noise, he'll jump up and then you'll hear his like feet going like that across the ground. He did that like a second after the noise, and then I heard another noise, and it was just like two knocks. It was just like they get there, and like 3 seconds after those knocks he came bolting into the room there. He was not happy.
So before we began filming for season 1, before we even concepted the idea of the show, you were the one who was hearing most of the noises, and are seeing things as well as Alana hadn't really had an influence on me at all.
Yeah.
And then we began investigating, and then it began having an influence on me, but then it also began to become more active. Do you think with it being active already it could become further active, and even this time with the dog being annoyed by this before season 2, do you reckon that will intensify on him?
I still admit that, you know, I'm not completely a believer. Like, you know, it's actually 60-40 that I don't believe in. So I will tell you, if I think something's fake, I will tell you. And I'm not going to make up anything, but I think that if something, you know, something like, because, well, whenever we started it wasn't that active, but then it started getting really active. Like the last recordings we ever did, you remember, in the kitchen?
Yeah.
That night, they weren't put into the house, or weren't they?
That night that we heard the noises coming from the chicken.
Do you know, like, we're going to make it into the video when we've been recording, so we're going to do another video after this. Do you know the very last night the very last ever episode that we ever recorded for.
Was that the 2-part special? We did one during the day and then one during the night. We do have that. We have ones though of the woman breathing that never made it.
Is that the one that come right up in front of me?
Right up in front of you.
That was that night. Right.
Right, but they didn't make it. They weren't in it.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do another episode, or well, not an episode. We're going to do another thing, and we're going to tell you about the last ever recording it and never made it onto it. There's some freaky stuff that happened. So we'll cut it down.
Thank you very much for taking time out of your Friday to do this interview.
In other words, thank you for stopping playing ball for a while.
Yeah.
Thank you.